At last, the truth has come out about what the CIA was doing in Benghazi in the first place and the background of the raid. And it could be a truth that could prove so devastating to Obama that it might possibly eventually find its way into impeachment. Seymour Hersh, who is a usually left-wing investigative reporter, the guy who unearthed the My Lai massacres in Vietnam and the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq, has published a story that has not received mainstream attention for some God-unknown reason, that there is an addendum, an amendment, what he calls an annex to the Senate Intelligence Committee report that explains what the CIA was doing in Benghazi. And apparently the whole mission was designed to take arms from Libya and ship them on Turkish ships to Turkey, where in southern Turkey they would then be given to Syrian rebels who are battling against the Assad regime. And none of this was authorized by the House or the Senate Intelligence Committee. In fact, they weren't even notified that it was taking place. That is a blatant and clear violation of law, like the Iran-Contra trade was that Reagan was involved in. Now, the CIA claims that it wasn't just a CIA operation, but they were liaising with MI6, the British intelligence arm. And there's an exception saying that if all you're doing is a liaison activity with another foreign service and that most of the effort is by them, you don't have to get approval from the Intelligence Committee. But that's a transparent fraud. This was obviously a CIA operation with MI6 tagging along, probably so they did not have to notify Congress. So the Intelligence Committee reports that Chris Stevens, the ambassador who was killed, was the point man, was the coordinator of this entire arms shipment. And this information raises a new perspective on why Hillary and Obama lied about the Benghazi attack and pretended it was about a video. It wasn't just that they wanted to conceal the attack to help them win the election 8 weeks later. It was also because they were anxious to conceal an illegal operation to arm the Syrian rebels. Back then, we didn't really realize that the Syrian rebels were Al-Qaeda. It's become evident since then. At that time, Hillary and Obama probably just thought they were Libyan rebels and Syrian rebels, one against Gaddafi, the other against Assad, two horrible dictatorships. Let's help the rebels take them out. And rather than go before Congress and get arms shipments directly to the rebels, which Congress ultimately rejected, let's channel it through using Gaddafi's old armaments and have the CIA do it. This casts an entirely new perspective on the Benghazi scandal, and it raises the question of whether these arms shipments were illegal or not. I asked a United States Senator personally whether these operations had been authorized by the Intel Committee, and he said no, they had not. And I said, if they weren't, would it be a crime? And he said, yes, it would. Now, at that time, he may not have known the CIA defense of the foreign liaison, but this is very serious. Now, for some reason, it's not been covered by the media. But what we need to do is to get the Senate Intelligence Committee to release in public the addendum to their report in which they announce this as the information about what the Benghazi operation was all about. And the decision as to whether or not this report is released is going to be made in part by Senator Saxby Chambliss, senator from Georgia. So if you're in Georgia or near Georgia, please write him and ask him to release the secret addendum to the Benghazi report of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He's the co-chairman. Thank you.